students, I'm Madam Joyce from Educare Tanzania. I'm teaching biology, and today I'll be with you to discuss our Form 5 topic, and this is coordination and irritability. So in our topic now, we are selecting our subtopic, which is a hormonal coordination in mammals. So this subtopic, we have already tried to discuss a little bit content that are found within it in the last session, and whereby we can recall ourselves that in hormonal coordination, in hormonal coordination in mammals is where now we try to look on the properties of the hormones and the hormones which are found within the human body. We have seen even the examples of the hormones, where they produced and so on. So my student, in our today's session also it's a continuation of where we end on the last session, whereby on the last session also we try to look on the feedback mechanism of the hormonal control. Tukaangalia pale kivipi feedback mechanism inatumika kwenye hormonal control. So also in our today's session we're going to proceed looking on the feedback mechanism for hormonal coordination. So it's where now we are going to see. So you are warmly welcome. So here we are saying that the release of the hormones by a gland is controlled by several factors, including the presence of specific metabolite in the blood. So sio kila hormone inahitajika tu iwepo ndani ya damu, mpaka pawe na different kinds of factor ndio ambayo ita enhance production of those hormones within the blood. So now, for example, you can see that excess glucose in the blood triggers the pancreas to release insulin to lower the level of blood glucose. So this one is the best example for explaining that the factor which enhance production of the hormone. Kwa maana kwamba pale ambapo tu patakuwa na low concentration of sugar within the blood is where now the pancreas or the pancreatic gland it release its content, and that is the insulin. So ina release ile insulin within the blood so that to control the level of the sugar within the blood. So now you can see the factor there is the low concentration of sugar within the blood. And another factor is the presence of another hormone in the blood. Also, when the hormone it is in excess within the blood is where now there is a production of another hormone, so that it can reduce the presence of the hormone that is present within the blood. So we can say that the majority of the hormones released from the anterior pituitary gland are stimulating hormones, which direct other glands to secrete their hormones. So here we can say that the presence of other hormones within the blood is where now it becomes a factor of releasing of another hormones. But here you have to know where those hormones come from. The hormones, they are produced within a gland, within the brain, in the structure which is called the pituitary gland. Na hii pituitary gland ndio ambayo gland iko specialized kuproduce all stimulating hormone. Tukisema all stimulating hormone, we mean that the hormone that will stimulate production of another hormone are produced within the pituitary gland. So this stimulating hormone will direct other glands to secrete their hormones. So the presence of this stimulating hormone, it will enhance another hormones or another glands which are found within the body to reduce or to produce the hormones into the blood. For instance, now we have the hormone that is a growth hormone releasing factor. This is a growth hormone releasing factor called the release of the thyroxine hormone. So now you can see this one, it is produced within the anterior pituitary gland. But within the anterior pituitary gland is whereby it causes the release of another hormone, that is thyroxine hormone. Though this thyroxine hormone yenyewe inatumika kwenye masuala ya growth process. And now we are saying that stimulation by neurons from the autonomic nervous system can also cause secretion of the hormone. That is what we mean. Kwa maana kwamba the presence of other hormone within the blood is whereby it causes another secretion of the hormones into the blood. A good example, you can take this example. It might help you. That is, we have growth hormone stimulating factor. This growth hormone stimulating factor enhances production of the thyroxine hormone. And another, we can say that under the conditions of stress, fear or danger, the body secretes hormones to combat the situation. So even in the danger situation, for example, suddenly umekutana na simba, ameachama mdomo wake anakufuata. Ile pale tunasema suddenly the body will react by producing hormone. Ile hormone ambayo itayoproduziwa ndani ya mwili wako itakusaidia wewe either run from the situation, that is the presence of the lion, or pale uweze kuzimia pale pale. So those are the hormones, the actions of the hormones within our body. Not only the danger situation, also within the stress and fear. Pale ambapo unakuwa unahofia kitu fulani, au unakuwa na mawazo, unakuwa na msongo wa mawazo, ile yote tunasema kwamba inatokana na production of the hormones which are produced within our body. And now we can say that the timing of the hormone release and the amount of the hormones to be released are regulated by feedback mechanism. So now for the production of the hormones into our body, tunasema kwamba are regulated by the feedback mechanism. When we are saying that feedback mechanism, we're going to see later its definition, but here you have to know that the production of the hormones within our body, either in any kind of situation, either you are in the danger situation, you are in stress, or you are in fear or anxiety, all of those, they are regulated by production of the hormones. But the hormones production within the blood are regulated by the process which is called the feedback mechanism. So we have to know ourselves, what is this feedback mechanism? We are saying that the feedback mechanism are self-regulatory mechanism in which when there is a disturbance or deviation in the system, a series of the events occurs to either remove the disturbance, that is the negative feedback, or to make the system to deviate further, that is positive feedback. So now here you can get something, that is within the feedback mechanism, we are saying that that is a self-regulatory mechanism, that the body try to be in a stable condition, or tunasema pale ambapo mwili utapata shida yoyote, any disturbance that will occur in our body, so the hormone are regulated so that it can remove those problems. And we can say that the series of the event occurs to remove the disturbance. In order to remove the disturbance is where now we can get negative feedback mechanism. But when we make the system to deviate furthermore is where now we get the positive feedback mechanism. So we have only two types of feedback mechanism. And the first one, it is called the negative feedback mechanism. It helps to remove the problem or disturbance that are occurring in our body. A good example, you can take that blood sugar level. So secretion of the insulin can cure or can remove the problem of low level concentration within the blood. But also we have another type of the feedback mechanism. It is called the positive feedback mechanism. Positive feedback mechanism, it makes the system to deviate furthermore. So kama ile tunasema kwamba if the body it is in disturbance, kwa hiyo sasa ile hormone ambayo itakuwa inazalishwa itaenda kuongezea ile disturbance, yani izidi. A good example, you can take hormone ambayo inaliliziwa kwenye positive feedback mechanism, though you're going to see later on, but here you have to know that the oxytocin hormone. Oxytocin hormone is the one of the hormone that bring about positive feedback mechanism. But usually we can say that it is a negative feedback mechanism which regulates the release of the hormone. So this negative feedback, it regulates the release of the hormone so that it can remove the disturbance within our body. But tunasema kwamba in rare case positive feedback mechanism may occur. Hii positive feedback mechanism inatokea ndiyo kwenye our body but in low concentration or it is in rare, kwa maana kwamba kwa uchache sana ndipo unakuta kuna positive feedback mechanism. So my student, I would like to invite you again into the next part of this session, is where now we are going to see examples of the negative feedback mechanism and the positive feedback mechanism so that it can bring the body into stable condition. So thank you for listening.